For a second, you said flesh puppets. Oh my god.
It says more about you than it does about me.
No,
Kind of does.
Yeah.
I know.
And just in time for everything to load up, but we have time before I start yelling at people and letting them know we exist.
You.
Isn't that the question for this session? Whether we exist?
That's whether you exist.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
The rest of us are in an observed quantum state, so you guys are in the
I
unobserved
mean,
state.
Rylov's also with her.
No.
No, Rylov is still on the ship.
Yeah.
It's
We haven't lost the Da Vinci. We've just lost its command staff. And I will note the engineer that got you into this mess is not here today.
yeah,
He just
which
did
is
it. He did it.
traitorous activity. Honestly.
Traitorous.
The entire command staff is just the commanding officer and
Fair.
the chief engineer.
Fair.
Oh, and the chief of security. Sorry, he was also
Yeah,
apparently on
Chief
that
of
show.
Security also there. So we do have a
You know,
large portion of the command staff.
The XO. I don't know who our chief pilot is, or was that Selak? That's also no. Selak is still on the. Yep, Selak is still on the Da Vinci. Our science officer isn't on the fucking ship.
Yeah,
No.
and we don't have a CMO statted, so
We've got a doctor stated, but we don't have a CMO.
And the best
Yeah.
engineer on board is it's Click.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Yeah, that was very much just like I am giving orders to just ensigns and click.
Yeah, yeah. God.
Where's Cham? Is Cham on the shuttle as well?
No, Cham is currently Commodore Cham guiding
right.
the
That's
captured
right,
ships
yes,
back.
He's on the captured ships.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the only technically we do have a doctor, Dr. Temena, who's a lieutenant and would be technically the CMO at the moment.
And we've got all the holographic crew.
Yep.
We've got a counselor
Laura's
as
not
well.
on board.
You had a counselor?
Yes, I made a counselor. Can no one see?
There we go.
Did the GM like move her into place, but she's invisible?
What's her name?
Counselor.
There she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Marilli?
I
Meryl.
I'm still used
Not
to the
anymore, she isn't.
Achilles like I'm still used to the Achilles with the support separated by type. I was just going through the list and I'm like, wait, where's medical?
Yeah, no, I just saw the token. I was like, oh, that is entirely a counselor outfit right there.
So, do we need to rename her to Counselor Milli Vanilli?
No.
No.
Only if someone lip syncs to them. So, hello everyone. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, and this is another episode of Halanak Station. And yeah, I'm gonna ask for a commander's log. It'll either be Captain Penn in real space, as it were, either Captain Penn or Centurion Ryloff. The one thing I will say is that it has been, as of the current stardate, it has been at least 1 week since the shuttlecraft Mona Lisa has gone into the anomaly. So
It's been a bit.
you may wish to frame your thoughts and plans accordingly. There will be a call for a log from Captain Threllick, but once we crash over to the Mona Lisa. And this is a 3-threat game, by the way.
Do you want me to go for it, Pen?
By all means.
Lovely. Don't you start shit, you furry cretin.
Yes, the cats have entered the game.
She just walked right up to my headset cable and just started to slowly reach for it. I'm like, don't you Wouldn't that be on
Just
brand, just in the middle
perfect.
of it, unplugged?
Perfect way to start the game. No notes.
Road 20 unplugged. That's just playing in real time. That's just playing at a table. Yes, if you could give me a log, please. Assuming the cat doesn't kill it. What was that, sorry?
Is the star date that you typed in the title the one
Yes.
you would be using for it? Lovely. Executive Officer and Liaison to the USS Da Vinci A, Centurion Rylov Log, Stardate 60528-2. Since the captain of this vessel and various members of the command staff and crew, along with a accompanying member of Halanak Station's command, have disappeared in a unconventional anomaly. I believe it was the subspace one in Origin. If I'm entirely mistaken.
That's correct.
It has been about a week, and we've had no contact, nor any real progress in investigations. There's only so much scans can really tell us, and that's terrifically unuseful. About the best thing I can think to do at this point would be leave various communications buoys to notify the captain should she emerge again, and proceed to Halanak Station to give a full briefing of the situation to Captain Pend. As much of an entertaining experience as I'm sure that will be. Hopefully, the captain is not lost, nor the other members of the crew. And log.
We cut to the bridge of the Da Vinci. In all good order. Cool. Scroll down. Space fighter music, no. You're being shot at.
No, I'd hope not.
There we go. So yes. Centurion Rylov has the bridge. You've given your log. What are your orders, Centurion? Or Captain, I suppose.
Alright, yes, let's get a communications buoy placed and make sure that it has the range to the system, or the location of where the system was, so that if anything does come out of that anomaly, they should be able to receive its signal. That is, assuming anything that's coming out of it has resolved the subspace anomaly.
What you've noticed over the past week is that the star system was in its entirety swallowed up from its stars and planets and moons, leaving naught but a rift in subspace, which would be very hard to notice if you didn't know to look for it, because it's hidden amongst the... You can even see it pulling in some of the nebula gases. So you can almost see, it's almost like someone's pull the nebula gases plus the gases of Shackleton Expanse. It's like someone pulled the plug on the drain of the universe and everything just slowly swirling into it. Although it looks uniquely not like a black hole, like it looks rather otherly from the way a black hole would appear. Or some other intense gravitational field. This is more like a falling.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. And we're currently outside of its effect.
Yep.
More or less.
You do still have to adjust, but you're kind of in orbit, or at least you're able to hold keep a station keeping. But you're like extreme range to it. You get any closer, you have to be warping for your life again.
Okay, so communications boy that's going to need enough juice to keep itself in position.
It would require control plus science to program the probe to an appropriate course that'll keep it steady.
Okay, Ensign Miller. Although I know that is not exactly your forte. Unless you can somehow talk something into it.
Whoever wants to grab Ensign Mila.
Van.
I hang on. I just realized I was not loaded into the roll 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you say I was
Might
off
be
to a good
important,
start.
buddy.
No, I
You're no Grognard.
What's my roll?
Control science, difficulty of 2.
2.
Assisted by computers, science.
Take a threat.
Certainly.
Come on, ship.
Are you relying on the ship? Oh no. Am I
These-
rolling the ship now, or is Thralik still doing that?
I can
Throlix-
do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still technically your ship until you die.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, sensor science. Let's see. Here we go. Ship.
2 on the dot.
Lovely.
Right. Sorry, I was Venmoing somebody.
Venmoing somebody?
Hey!
Were you paying them $50 to pick us up from the subspace anomaly? Because that'd be really
That would be really funny.
how many gifts do they require to pick us up?
Venmo me 50 if Arnold will show up.
Or
Yeah.
the pro subscription.
Yes, Ensimila, you're able to program the probe for the to hold a stable orbit of a sort that will kind of trace around the anomaly.
All right. Probe is locked in and ready to go.
All right. Do we have a rough lifespan on what this thing is expected to last for? Given the
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have a general idea of how long a probe like this would last?
Roll for me 3 challenge dice.
Sure.
About 5 months.
Okay.
Alright, well,
cool.
hopefully it doesn't need to be here that long.
Well, and at least we know the lifespan of it.
And that's presuming that some anomaly or fluctuate. It's not so much the anomaly. That's presuming either the anomaly itself gets bigger, or because it will self-correct a little bit if things change. But after 5 months, things will change enough that you'd have to go back and reprogram it to make sure it's still there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if it'll last for 5 months, some support ship can come by and service it.
Or we can return.
You are the service ship, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're the only The only other Federation ship that's around is over at Project Enduring Friendship, and they're one sector spinward.
I still hate that name.
Hey, some admiral thought it was a great. A certain rear admiral thought it was a great idea.
I'm blaming
Your
I
you.
mean,
job
you
title.
might hate it, but Serrano loves it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Your job title's not harmonizer.
Okay, deploy the probe.
Deploying probe.
The warheadless torpedo launches away, and various sensors expand away from the head, and a minor maneuver drive starts firing and slow, and then it kind of disappears around the corner on the view screen as it is moving incredibly quickly.
Man, why am I hearing Amazing Grace on the bagpipes?
As an idea, we have the captain of that cargo ship in the brig of the Da Vinci, correct?
Grulk, yep.
Yeah, okay. Can we get him brought to the bridge, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, I have some questions, and I have a very convincing argument on the view screen. Which sounds worse when I say it that way, but trust me.
Do you just have him under guard, or do you just summon him to the bridge?
I'll probably have like a guard with him, yeah.
Okay. So.
He is still technically a prisoner.
We see a security person walk out of one of the turbolifts. The Tellarite captain kind of looks around, having not with relative awe, because this is one of the newer type craft. This is one of the new line Starfleet vessels, so most people haven't seen these yet.
Captain Rock, if you could come here, please.
Yes. I'm not gonna do anything. Just doing my job, sir. All right. Just keep your hands to yourself. I'll keep my hands where I need them, sir. Oh, yes. What is it? He looks at you, thoroughly annoyed. You get the feeling the annoyance is more at the guy next to him, not you.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you could take a look at the view screen there, you'll see the system you were going to deliver supplies to.
I see empty space. Wait, is that? What is that?
Please zoom in on the anomaly.
That's no black hole. That's...
No.
What is that? He just stares at the screen. He kind of takes a couple steps forward, but before he gets anywhere into the well, the guard just grabs his shoulder. Like, just enough to remind him that he's there. It's like, huh? Oh, he shrugs him off, and then he stops moving forward.
That would be a subspace tear. Or anomaly.
I thought those were invisible. Except we're in the Shackleton. Huh.
And it is something that has formed at your deliver location. Which has, in turn, eliminated that entire system. So if you have any information at all about this location, which would be deemed pertinent or useful or slipped your mind before, it might be quite important to mention.
Give me presence command difficulty of 1.
Yeah.
You get the feeling he wants to retreat into the protection of him being under arrest, but he may just offer the information as a nice Federation to Federate. Well, you're not Federation, but you're Federation appointed officer, so.
Yeah.
Could the ship assist here because of what's up on the view screen?
Unfortunately, no. That's what diplomatic suites are for.
That's what diplomatic suites are for.
Fair enough.
None of those. This is definitely not team dynamics. Would you consider this an investigative technique, though?
At comp increase. It's more interrogation rather than investigation, but it's close.
It's interrogation for an investigation, so I mean... I'll take it, though. I'm going to ask, because you might say it hurts me, paranoid. Because I still haven't gotten rid of that.
Comp increase.
Lovely. He's not a Klingon, none of those other ones really. Unless Inscrutable can help me here.
Inscrutable, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Increases difficulty by 1.
Lovely. Okay, so Diff 2, Comp 3. Good. I'm the right officer for this job. And I don't have that medal, so I'll give you 3.
Certainly. I'm sure the away team appreciates this.
I'm sure they do. Hey, look, that's complication too. I believe I can get rid of that. Though.
Yep.
Yeah, I can. So I will, just to not make things that much harder.
How you getting rid of it?
Legion of Honor.
Gotcha. Well, folds his arms and see him kind of chew at his a mustache on his face a bit. Kind of sniffs his nose and gives you a look. Look at the screen. Well, I can't tell you about my job because I'm contracted, but it's not like the system is confidential. I'm allowed to talk about that. So, what I recall, I don't have my ship mind, but as I recall, there was a planet that had life on it in the system. Bunch of tiny little things, hunter-gatherer types, you know, kind we're not supposed to be talking to, and we didn't. He gestures. But place we went to as one of its. Excuse me a moment. I have a spider in the wrong spot. Please, Mr. Spider, don't be there. There, please. Thank you. Literally, a spider was dangling in front of my face, and I had to move it. I was like, well, I don't want to squish you. Please move. Yes, we went to a gas giant, the first gas giant in the system, and to one of its moons. There's where we were to drop off our cargo. Gas giant is, he shrugs, a gas giant. The moon had a facility on it, but nothing that, like, the locals didn't have anything like this, and the station, I mean, last I was here, I didn't see any. I mean, other than that weird blast when we came up to the system, that was new. But last time I was there was nothing that in the system, in orbit, at least on my sensors anyway, that indicated an ability to do this. And I can say that my job did not involve destroying the system. We wouldn't take jobs that kills, like, innocent people, like, you know. Well, generally we're trying to take jobs to kill anyone, but, you know.
I wouldn't accuse you of such, but sometimes people are misled into actions that they didn't believe were going to occur.
But this, something like that, I don't even know how you could do that. I mean, there was that one spot off in the Alpha Quadrant that we used to have to drive slow around, but, you know, that was years ago.
As far as I recall, the planet or the moon he just described is the one that this event started on, correct?
Yeah, that's where I saw the charge from. I presume that's where it was coming from.
That is where this event started from. And would your ship have sensor logs regarding that?
It would, but I'll need a warrant to open them up. I'm contracted. If I just open it up to whoever, I can say goodbye to any future jobs. Much as I would like to help.
For someone to look at a scientific anomaly on your sensor logs?
Well, the computer logs are locked because it's all trade secrets. You see my problem.
I can see a problem in that regard. Naturally, if we were to have your cooperation, you could just show us the specific logs that you wanted us to see, or that we were asking to see, rather than anything that's hidden.
Well, that's where I'd need the warrant to line it out. That way, there's paper trail, and then I don't get yelled at. I said, because if I show you, what's to say that I'm not giving you something on the sly? I mean, not that I'm saying you're sneaky, He then looks at uniform and kind of shrugs uncomfortably, like, "Whoops, I kind of didn't mean it that way." Not that I'm saying you're sneaky, but well, not like that. But someone might accuse me of being sneaky. You see, so I need to have proof that I wasn't being sneaky. I'm just following a lawful order. They'll still get mad about that, but they can be mad. There's mad, and then there's mad.
There's mad about what you did, and mad about what you couldn't avoid.
Right. I'm sure those jellyfishes will help you with it, or whatever they are.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially if I can, convey you in a good light to them.
Exactly.
Right, well, unless you have anything else, I think it was time for you to return.
He nods at you and looks at the screen for a beat and kind of stares at it in wonder and just kind of shakes his head like, I don't even. Just your guard. Looks at you as he starts walking off. Like you can get the sense that he's trying to confirm whether or not you want him to leave.
Yeah.
And then, without making a word to Grolk, he just follows after him and down the hatch they go. Well, down the turbolift they go, not a hatch. Enjoy your trip. Drops down shaft.
Yes, put him in the incinerator.
Palpatine, the poor guy.
It's not that kind of ship. All right.
I mean, the base mass for the replicator has to come from somewhere.
Oh
We're out
no!
on the menu, boys. No, all right. Ensign Selak, set a course for Halanak Station, best possible speed.
Aye, sir. Sir, when you say best possible speed, do you mean best possible safe speed or best possible speed? I would like clarification.
Oh no.
I don't even know what the differences are on this ship.
Quantum slipstream drive versus warp.
The quantum slipstream drive is, I believe, out of action at this time, given we already used it.
No, because it's been a while since I disappeared.
Yeah,
It's
over
been
a
a
week.
A week. Oh yeah. So
Okay.
how
Yeah.
long?
Okay.
How long is the charge down for?
12 hours. Not
12
days.
hours. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. How
Okay,
long
I
would
thought
that
it was
take us
down
to
here.
return to Halanak Station then?
Couple minutes.
Oh, at Quantum Slipstream, yeah, it'd be a few minutes. At Max Cruise, it would be
Max Cruise was something like 12 or 13 hours to get here, I think.
Yeah.
9.7. So I need my warp chart, which is here somewhere. Nope.
And I think another plan I'm going to go for is literally just get out of the nebula first, and then quantum slipstream to the station. Because it's already been a week of us not talking to them. Which I assume is like somewhat normal. Unless they were trying to contact us. Were you trying to contact us, Bent?
Depends. Did you give us a report?
No.
Yeah, the last communication was I had a quantum entanglement communication with a Harmonizer Kovuk where we briefed each other on the current situation, but that was before
Yeah.
we got teleported away, so...
And that worked in the nebula? I forget if the nebula was causing communications disruptions as well.
There was subspace communications were disrupted due to some wildlife that had been in the way a few days ago.
Right.
But QEC doesn't care about that. QEC connects pretty much wherever.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, understandable, expected subspace communication delays, and a week is not really that long in terms of what we're doing.
Yeah, a week's probably is the max amount of time you can go without your CO before you have to return to base and report that you don't have your captain anymore.
Yeah, so this is very much following the rule exactly as far as it's allowed to go.
You could go at max 9.985 and get there within about 12 hours. Like if you floor it, you can get there super fast. If you go regular max speed, it'll take you About a day or so. So the difference between half a day to a full day.
We'll leave the nebula and then quantum slipstream into the area, but we're not trying to get close to the station. Please do not drop us right next to the station. Drop us
Yes,
like
sir.
stream or something.
Yes, they're dropping us at edge of system.
That is regular warp until we are clear of the nebula.
I understand, sir.
Believe a roll is required for the quantum slipstream. May be wrong on that. Where is it?
Quantum slipstream, yeah.
Oh, no extra check. It's just
Just 3 power.
as long as you're able to power up the quantum. You warp for a little bit. You're able to put the ship to the anomaly to your back. Left only to the whims and winds and weather of the Shackleton Expanse. You drop out of warp, and then you spool up the quantum slipstream drive. The whole ship just kind of shudders. Blue alert alarms go off, and alerting everyone that a quantum slipstream is about to happen. And then the ship vanishes.
What was the challenge dice thing that was being rolled last time for power?
I believe that was
That's,
Click.
A talent that
That's
Click has.
Okay, click specific. Gotcha. He technically is not active yet, so
Right.
not that it matters. That's just like curious.
Mm-hmm.
Vinci
Was it power management?
So
pops into existence.
I'm giving her all she's got talent.
Mm-hmm.
As a mere few minutes pass, and you come into being outside of the open tower system.
All right. Helm put us on a course for Halanak Station. Impulse speeds and communications get us a line to control of Halanak.
Patching you through now, sir.
New scenes. We cut to station ops. Yeah, Ven, you were still at the station, as I recall.
Yep.
So Captain Pend, and I believe Kovac is still here somewhere on station. I doubt you're in operations itself.
Yeah, I'm still on station.
So yeah. Then you notice that among the traffic, one of the various in the console you see a quantum slipstream appearance, which Halanak Station can detect when something's quantum slipping into its area because that's their warp drive. Remember, so they can tell when
yeah, so
someone's
they have to be
about
able
to
to-
jump in.
Yeah, so they developed their flight control monitoring to pick that up.
Yep. So you see a contact about to slip in. Your computer lets you know. And actually, you being familiar with the ship, you immediately know that it's the Da Vinci's signature. The computer doesn't necessarily recognize it right away because to the computer, the Da Vinci's quantum slipstream is too primitive to understand precisely what it is. So it just looks like a scale 4 or 5 object is slipstreaming in with a defective engine. But you know that particular signature is the Da Vinci. And then very quickly, it pops into existence.
Captain, the Da Vinci's just entered system.
Understood. Reach out to them, see if we can get a updated report.
We're being hailed now, Captain, says someone on the bridge. An op, sorry.
Ven just sort of motions to him, asking showers.
On the screen.
And in the control panel, this is the first time you've used this. So in the center thing here, it's a holographic imager pedestal. So you see it view screens kind of have this sort of trio or three-dimensional video appearance that's just on a far screen, whereas this one kind of just constitutes a facsimile of that person in front of you, plus a little bit of their immediate surroundings. You can order the imager to kind of show as much of the bridge as they're broadcasting, but it usually just focuses on the main speaker, so you're not being distracted by as the free information sphere. They don't like being distracted from random people on the bridge just doing stuff. But in front of you appears Centurion Rylov sitting the chair, I presume?
Yeah.
So you see Centurion Rylov sitting in the captain's chair.
Ah, Centaurian. Can I get an updated report?
Would you like a sensitive report through communications or in person, Captain?
Is it the type of report where the senior staff are going to have to debrief me?
Yes.
Understood. Drop into orbit and we'll have a meeting within the next half an hour.
Of course, Captain. Other than that, the vessel is itself in intact condition, and the crew is relatively stable.
I will look into that phrasing when we have the meeting.
Of course, Captain.
Yeah, he'll just signal for the comms to cut.
And he vanishes. And then as a standby screen, it shows the system around you, just to have something there, so it's not just blank space.
Very well. Let's get a meeting set up for in a half an hour's time, Ensign.
One of the command staff turns in there, and this is one of the security officers or liaisons with the Harmonizer group. Kind of turns in his chair and says, Captain, should we brief the Harmonizer for this meeting, or?
Yeah, please do. See if check on his availability. If possible, I'd like him there. If not, if he wishes to send a representative.
Aye, sir. And they turn in their chair and start typing away and doing their thing. What are you two doing before the meeting starts?
Probably looking through any reports if anything's come up about Jaishu.
Give me reason command difficulty of 2. Assisted by station's computer security. Sorry, computer's command. Sorry.
Take a threat.
Certainly. Uh, 3 generated?
Those difficulty. All right, I.
Yeah.
Still not used to the ships doing that.
Yeah. Over the week, you've had to hear reports from Narendra Station and from the colony nearby and the Gungnir. A couple things that you're updated on. One, you're informed that the KT Bowman has been transferred out of the Shackleton Expeditionary Fleet Group, or Shackleton Expedition Operations. I forget my own name. What's our group name, darn it? It's written on there. I have a badge for it and everything. Shackleton Fleet Operations. There we go.
They've been transferred out.
Yep. They've been transferred to a different fleet. And they have yet to be replaced, owing to the fact that it is believed that between the colony and the station, and the fact that Klingons are pushing more into the area and the link with the free information sphere, it is believed that not as many resources are required more resources are being dedicated to a supply train and trade lane between Narija Station and Halanak Station and Project Enduring Freedom. So it's more about keeping that line secure, which also gives Gungnir a safe place to run back to. 2 different safe places to run back to if they need to. So to that end...
and they will. They'll need that.
And the Klingons have their own provinces that are dealing with, but that's the Klingon side of ARM is a different issue. From all that said, it appears that the Orion Queen, or supposed Pirate Queen, has suffered greatly by efforts of the Gungnir and various other security forces that have severely dampened her abilities. However, it seems that the kidnapping was outsourced to somebody, and in the midst of her fall from grace, as it were, the people who have her have not turned her over, because simply by virtue of the fact that she hasn't reached back out to them again. She's been too busy dealing with... She was going to be messing with you through this method, but she's kind of been bombarded by a million other things that basically sunk her. So according to the details, Starfleet Security is looking into this contact information and trying to, discreetly, but they're trying to chase down that line to see if they can figure it out. They've also reached out to Klingon intelligence to try to rescue their officer, but they're being cautious because they know House of Gitta is not an intelligence house and does not believe... I mean, they can be discreet, but they are a warrior house. They'll be great if they need to attack a starbase. They're not too great about investigating kidnappings.
But they have Varder.
Who their spy master?
Yeah.
Yes, he's useful, but he's kind of busy watching the Klingons and what they're up to, rather than...
That's true.
It's like, if Varder can find out something, like, they've informed Varder about the issue, and he's keeping an eye out. Like, he reports back that he's probably keeping an eye out for her, but he's wrapped up in this whole other thing that the Klingons are into in the region, which is more rimward than your situation. They have their own provincial issue going on, not really relevant to your current mission.
Probably more violent too.
Yeah.
And a lot
Definitely
more
more
awesome.
But yeah, I'd
The
probably have
Sakita movie.
I'd probably have my own inquiries out to see who was that faction who took her, and see if I can make a deal with them.
You actually, as you put your feelers out, you would have, you haven't got a whole lot of reach outs back, surprisingly. Like, usually you get somebody, because you know a few people over the years, somebody usually reaches out to, at least as a courtesy, say, sorry, can't help you, or, I don't know, or I'll get back to you. You're getting a lot of radio silence back, which is odd. That's almost never happened. The last time you had that much radio silence was during, Aslan betrayal, though it's not. You don't feel it's the same level of, but it's similar to that. It's similar level. That's the last time you had that sort of radio silence. Except today, you notice in your message file, it seems that the subcommander Romulan aboard has suggested that they have information that may be probative to your problem.
Well, I would very much like to have a conversation with this sub-commander at his earliest convenience.
They will meet you as soon as they can. As soon as you're available, rather, because they are here at the pleasure. They're here as a liaison from the true Romulan Empire, and they're more than glad to assist a Starfleet officer.
Like I said, after I have my senior staff meeting to get an update on the Da Vinci situation, whatever that may be, I will definitely put that on my list of priorities.
Yep. Ensign Ven, what are you up to before the meeting?
Ven is going to try and familiarize himself with the logs of the most recent mission, partially because, you know, I wasn't there for like 2/3 of it.
Reason command difficulty of 1, assisted by computers command. As you just pour over the logs and And presumably you've probably been reading over them and analyzing them a bit, and then the more recent logs that the Da Vinci probably just now sent to a secure part of the server as they dock with the station. Actually, are you guys docking? I take that back.
I don't imagine we have a reason not to, really.
Well, yeah, because I'd just take orbit, so you can do whatever you want as long as you're close enough to
Beam
get
over.
onto the
He
station.
did say take orbit, so he's going to, yeah.
You're
orbit,
right.
We'll beam over, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll I will note that the information you get from the Da Vinci, I presume isn't being transmitted over subspace. I imagine it's being hand delivered by security.
Yeah.
So there's a lag where you're looking up the most recent logs, and then it's like, oh, as hand signed in by officer such and such.
And can I get the ship or the station? Unless it's... Oh, wait, you said this is being hand-delivered, so no.
No, the station still helps, because there's still, like, staff in the room who are willing to help you look over stuff.
And that's what
yeah.
computer science.
Command.
Computer's command, I think.
Oh, sorry, completely fine.
Okay. I'm going to spend one, and the one I generated, and one more from the pool to quash.
Yep. So, when was the last time you were here, Ben? What episode?
I was here for like the last 40 minutes to an hour of last week.
Rylef, if you would update Ven, since it's coming from your logs, you're probably the one that summarized what happened. Thrala can certainly jump in and fill in a bit, because as well as Serena, because you both would have had some input on the logs before you went on your away mission.
In general, let's see, we reached the system. We had the 2 abandoned ships and 2 abandoned and in distress ships. Is I believe the appropriate format of how they were. Have those arrived yet, by the way?
They would have arrived by now, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're currently in possession of 3 ships that are impounded, but on behalf of the Free Information Sphere.
Yeah, and a third one that had recently arrived and was also injured and had Federation crew aboard, which we are handing the prisoners over now. They were going to deliver supplies to this colony that's apparently here. There were 2 different energy signatures of different sizes across 2 different planets, or 2 different planetary bodies. One was a class K? The habitable, but
Adaptable.
not for long term. Yeah. You have to have some kind of assistance to live there long term. That planet had 4, I believe, generators of some description on it. No life signs of Halanak agreement. What are they called again? Is it the Halanak agreement? Free information, FIS. No life signs of FIS origin on the planet's surface. There were indigenous life forms that were in all 4 outpost locations. Unknown if there ever were any FIS life signs or what happened to them if there were. The other energy signature was on a moon of a gas giant. That one we didn't get to investigate before a subspace anomaly seems to come from that. The captain, who was aboard a shuttle with the captain of the Stars, Serana, chief of security, and who else?
Lieutenant Commander
Engineer.
Haifa.
Yeah, Lieutenant Commander Haifa, deemed there to be an opportunity to enter the anomaly and resolve it that way, and that is what they have done, or they have entered it at least. Resolving it is hopefully still pending progress rather than failed.
Got it. Okay. And I heard something about an entire system going kaput.
Yes, that got sucked into said anomaly.
Oh, and that anomaly just wiped out the entire system?
Yes.
Yep.
It came from the moon of the gas giant that had the other signature on it, the other energy signature. That's where the rupture started.
Okay.
So it's
And do we
something on
have
that planet, on that moon.
okay? Do we have any indication as to like number of lives lost in terms of anyone who may
No.
have been on within that system?
Nope. We know there were indigenous life forms. We know they are pre-warp by a significant margin. And as said, we have no idea how many FIS life forms, if any, had been on either of those locations before. There were none that were detected at the K-class world. But there
Alright.
were also those other life forms that... I don't know if they eat plants.
Okay.
What?
Well, I'm gonna okay. In that case, I will have to
To give you a number, by the way, there was about 4 million indigenous life forms on the Class K planet.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So if those have all been completely irrevocably destroyed, then this could possibly be a genocide. It's not a purely natural phenomenon. Do.
Genocide generally entails...
Did you just sorry? Did you just do genocide?
He did, yes.
Yeah, that is what happened.
Genocide entails intent. This would be mass murder. Or manslaughter, however you want to phrase that.
I mean, but we didn't know them very well.
Xenoslaughter.
But just that is a legal distinction there. Genocide is intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I doubt they intended to wipe them out and wipe out the planet and entire system, because that's of use to no one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless they got very mad that some kind of priest they might have sent got eaten.
Geno slaughter.
There are
somehow sounds worse.
Intentional crime and criminal negligence is important in cases of law, especially for sentencing reasons, but it doesn't really matter to the victims.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, no, it's
They're
not
all
like
gonna die no matter what the intent was.
Yeah.
they're already
So-
gone. Like, semantics.
Okay, anyhow, in that case, the two things he's prepping for the meeting is some of the latest engineering reports that he was going to talk over with what's the name of the new engineering guy?
Haifa?
I'm just trying. Yeah, Haifa.
Yeah, he's gone too.
And yeah, I know. That's why I'm having Ben bring it. Partially. And also have him go over what, sensor logs and what scientific determinations the team on the Archimedes A were able to make about the anomaly in the time that they had.
Archimedes A.
The what?
Did I just say Archimedes Da Vinci?
That's a different show.
I
Ben
am not on my game today, guys.
Ben seeing other realities.
Uh-huh.
The Archimedes, right? Wait, sorry. No, Da Vinci. Sorry. I'm okay. Just need the doctor.
The USS Leonardo, right?
I think. Well,
I prefer Donatello myself. Better reach.
Damn it.
Uh-huh.
Damn it. I was about to say that.
Yeah, but the Splinter's badass too.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay, so I said Archimedes because that's the actual Abena class that showed up in Dex.
We're
That's
not that.
why I got confused.
Tellar's not present. We cut to security news. See,
She could be present. Who knows?
Kovic. What have you been up to the last week before? And we're kind of recapping what you've done the last week before Ops reaches out to you.
Okay. For one thing, I would have shown Kellar the information from the Da Vinci from when I contacted them to see, since he's been to the Savix Cast's system, if that system was the system he had been trading with or smuggling to.
Oh, Quiller, yeah. The smuggler. What are you asking again? Sorry, I got derailed.
So, like, I was in touch with Da Vinci long enough to, like, to get information on the system they were looking at before it went down the anomaly. And I know Kellar has been smuggling stuff to Savage Cast colony somewhere because he said so. So even though the data from his ship is gone, I'm figuring I can show him, look, this is the solar system in the region you're talking about. Is this the solar system you were dealing with?
He'd confirm that, yeah.
Okay. Where was the Savage Cast colony in that system?
It was on the moon.
Okay, the moon around the gas giant?
Yep.
Okay. Not the small Class K planet.
No, they had various habitats filled with water. He had to wear a EVA suit to move around and stuff for a lot of it.
Just jotting down some notes. Also during that week, I'm not going to impound his ship, or I'm not even going to impound his cargo. I'm just going to make him pay for all of the necessary licenses and fees to transport that cargo legally.
Give me control security difficulty 2, or reason, assisted by ships, something security.
Station or ship?
You work on the station, yeah?
Yeah, you said ship. That's why I was.
Oh, sorry, I meant station. You're right.
Okay.
Habits.
No, it's fine.
Computers security to assist.
You said it was Diff 2.
Yes,
Don't think
Oh,
I
whoops!
have
Actually, I have the wrong music strat at the station.
focus for this. We have, yes, take a momentum for a third die. If you would please, let's see what I can do. Of course. Yeah, I got nothing to do with that.
I think you just got it with because I think that pen rolled ahead of you there, I believe.
Yeah,
I did.
Yep. So that's
but
2 on the dot.
Yeah, but the complication is still there. I can't.
Oh yeah.
Anything to take care of that.
I'll just take 2 threat. I have.
His
With
plan.
Frolic later.
Yeah,
Roll for me 5 challenge dice. You.
See how I'm going.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is STA. I should be giving you +2 on that. 2 more challenge dice. Sorry. Basically 2 plus security. So it should have been 7, not 5. My bad.
3.
You get. You generate. From the fines, you effectively gain 2 momentum. Because he. Over the course, he pays very high fines and processing fees, but it's not exorbitant. This does clear him, and it does absolve him of a lot of things, and he now has a legal license that's there was almost a hiccup in the process, but the presiding speaker just kind of briefly checked in, you're okay with this, and if you said yes, he's like, okay, well, Parliament's okay with it then, and they signed off on it. Like, you're the one that's authorizing it. We're checking with you to get evidence that you are okay with it. You are okay. You signed off on it. We signed off on it. Because they wouldn't sign off on it unless you personally were okay with it. If you're on vacation, like, no. Where's the harmonizer or the deputy harmonizer? We're not signing this without them.
So, after that, I'll let him go, but with the warning that he's all legal now, but I will be keeping a close eye on his comings and goings. And I'll keep him out of Roll's way and vice versa.
Yeah, Roll will make an effort not to. It's like, no, if you want me to stay out of that guy's way, sure, I'll do that. Even the last time they ran into each other, it's like, okay, I'll just avoid them.
So, okay, and so that was during the week, so now we're kind of at the top of the new scene, right?
Yeah, as you get a ping on your desk, station operations to Harmonizer Kovic.
Kovic here.
Requesting your presence at a senior staff meeting. The Da Vinci A has returned from its mission. Station commander was wondering if you wish to attend or send a delegate.
When and where is this?
This is standby, sir. This will be at. You hear tapping noises. Captain Pend, here on level 6, right? You don't want it in the command nexus downstairs?
Please.
Okay. Level 6-2, room 6.
Yeah, I'll be there. Why not?
Very good. We'll
Describe location in jungle.
What was that?
The Thrall exposed, yeah.
Oh.
So here at the top of the scene, let me toss you a threat for well-informed to ask a couple questions.
Sure.
So, because this is knowledge from contacts and news and rumors that I have heard. So, what have I heard about, or learned about, Romulans and Breen working together? This seems to be cropping up.
This isn't some. I will say that these rumors aren't coming from the intelligence apparatus of the free information sphere. It's not something that's really influencing them too much yet. But you have some friends back home. Actually, were you a law enforcement official or security official of some kind before Halanak Station?
I've always been some kind of investigator.
Yeah, so you have like a couple friends back in the Alpha Quadrant and people you've run into before.
Or have I?
And you hear through the grapevine that there's a rumor going around that there's some sort of secret alliance between various powers. Nothing's confirmed because there has been no open emblem or declaration of mission or any sort of media attention. The Federation News Network is trying to look into it. You hear from like a reporter friend that they are trying to confirm if that's a thing, but they're not nothing they're willing to print. And the Federation News Network is very strict about they don't if they have a rumor, they'll mention it's a rumor. But even then, they try not to give inflammatory news air because that can be very damaging that can cause diplomatic incidents, which they're very aware of. But in particular, there was some sort of meeting that happened in the Typhon system, within the Typhon Expanse. And various officials from the Romulans, the Breen, and the Zinkethi. The Romulans, the Breen, Zinkethi, the Gorn, the Folians, and an as yet unidentified other attendee. But no one that you know knows this precise. No one was there. They just know a lot of people happen to go the same direction and, connect the dots a little. They're all heading to the same system and they should arrive roughly the same time. Why are they going there? Who knows? But, these are some semi-important officials or at least official transports or, if not official transports, then 1 second, I'll be right back.
So second question, should I try to get more information on this, the name I have for the Breen who hired the two Romulans, or?
Could be good.
That could be an idea.
Or
You might be able to track down something about who they are based off of that name? Because I know that last time the GM discussed that was like a not a Breen name, but like a base name.
And what was the other thing? Could also ask if I've heard anything about this Halanak, the Romulan Empire agent who was involved with the supposedly the Savix gas in the station.
Yeah.
I've leaning more towards that one since that's way more in my jurisdiction.
Yeah, fair.
Makes sense.
There needs to be some crisis on the station where I can use my briefing room. Give a throwback to Hill Street Blues. And hey, let's be careful out there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I'm the only one old enough to remember Hill Street Blues. Gave us such
Look.
writing and showing talents as David Milch.
Look, I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm sure at some point in my life I have been on a hill street. Does that count?
No,
Okay.
just no.
What if you were also listening to the blues?
It was late 70s, early 80s propaganda.
I has returned.
Huh.
But yes, transports. That's what I was saying. Yes. Typhon.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shifting gears a little bit. What am I hearing about this rogue, quote-unquote, rogue Romulan agent Halanak?
One moment. Halanak.
I think that was his name.
And they got me double checking myself. Yes, I know who you mean. That officer was noted for their or rumors to be a groomed for success sort of person in the Roman Empire. Specific details are lost due to the Tal Shiar appointed, but they come from a family of Romulans who are known for their patriotic duty to Empire and Romulus. So there's that sort of like it is considered among Romans a matter of course that someone of his family would be in a place of leadership in some capacity. Although it being specifically Tal Shiar, question mark. He himself actually isn't from Romulus. He's from one of the more prosperous colonies on the outer edges of the more coreward areas near Romulus, so not far out at the frontier, but closer in. Where you still get a Remian for a bargain. I mean, they don't do that. They're perfectly reasonable and civilized. He was also known as a person who was surprisingly rather xenophilic would be the wrong word to describe him, but he's a lot less xenophobic or xenosupremacist than most Romans can be sometimes. a better word to describe is that he was rather he liked to learn. He was known to learn about his targets. If they were, whether they're Romulan or non-Romulan, he would read up on what they were like, what their culture was like, and so on, and actually made efforts to kind of bridge the gap to some degree. Although, most likely to his own benefit, but, you know. He has quite a few allies that he's made. A couple of actually, some of the contacts you've reached out to, they've heard of him and they've dealt with him in a minor capacity. But everyone who talks about him finds him actually rather friendly. Well, friendly for a Romulan, but friendly. And he's never really double-crossed anyone or tried to... at least no one that you've talked to anyway. He probably betrayed somebody. Specifically, the one thing he never reached out to for details on or like assistance with, like you as an intelligence officer, you'd reach out to different people to give you different assets to achieve your goal. The one thing he never reached out for was anything to do with computer manipulation and infiltration. So he's never needed a slicer or anything of that sort to infiltrate or otherwise suborn computer systems. And actually, the one thing that jumps at you the most, you actually managed to get a member of a Romulan that you knew, whose star's risen a little bit. Not a ton, but enough that they're a little tapped into the politicking of Romulus. But there was Romulus hasn't blown up yet, I don't believe.
Nope.
No.
But so.
Nor will it ever. Not canon.
Yeah.
Neither of the Remans. My headcanon rules.
Well, we'll see if you guys can prevent it. Although that might be your problem, might be someone else's problem.
Look, Myth is trying her hardest. She doesn't know that that's what she's trying to prevent, but like...
Well, I certainly wouldn't use red matter to stop it. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
You're making fun of the most famous Vulcan in history.
Yes.
Well,
Of course.
it's because you're Iconian. But he actually...
We all know people never make fun of their own historical figures.
Never. It'd be disrespectful.
The Hadfield actually used a prototype red matter device back during the Tholian stuff.
Well, that's true.
Those yahoos.
But he actually is rumored to be one of the an observing member of the Nimbus Even Alliance. They're a political group that was trying before the whole Civil War. The Nimbus Even Alliance was a political group that was trying to reform the Romulan Empire into a diplomatic power. So more soft power focused, less hard power. And then the war happened, and the Nimbus Even Alliance, for the majority, has sided with the Senate because they believe in the power and legitimacy of the Senate, and not the supposed Praetorian or his lackeys, especially since the Praetorians lost, as far as they're concerned. So that's probably made his career difficult, to say the least. Even as an observer, that would undoubtedly cast. If it didn't get him killed, it would hamper his career dramatically for be formally affiliated with a problematic political group, as the Romulans might talk around it. But
it's called the Nimbus what?
The Nimbus Even Alliance, I believe it is.
AVEN?
Yep.
And Nimbus as in Nimbus 3.
Yep.
Okay. So nothing recent about him then?
No. Beyond the stuff that you've heard so far, his career is very shrouded.
Okay. So there's my questions for that. And we have already gone through the black box and computer logs of the rogue station, correct? I can't remember, honestly.
Of the floating lab, you
Had it.
mean, that you captured?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And didn't learn anything particularly useful?
Not more than you already have, no. You kind of learned that they were... It was a research station. To recap a bit, it was a... they were researching
That's right.
the use of matter-antimatter reactor systems using more primitive...
Right. Just kind of underline that that's exactly what it was for. It wasn't a science base for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so towards meeting time, I'll go and get a cup of coffee and a pastry of some description. Go to the meeting room.
New scene.
Pick up a canolo.
Canolo?
Yeah, it's a FIS delicacy. Haven't heard of it? Jeez, read the documents.
I've heard of a cannoli. But...
Oh, come on.
I know that you leave guns but take cannoli.
It's only when you're ad-libbing.
Come on, Godfather reference? Really, guys? Jeez.
So sorry.
Sorry, I'm not ancient and decrepit.
There are almost
Wow.
2,000 movies on my Letterboxd watch list. I will get to The Godfather when I get to The Godfather.
So to Kovic, Canolo is the singular of.
Yeah, who has a singular cannoli? Jesus Christ.
Your mama, that's who.
What?
What?
Can you please get back on track? We're all going insane here.
True.
Let me just set up something as we look upon a distant moon. And it is, in fact, a moon and not a space station, just for the
That's a
record.
distant moon.
Ah, you beat me to it.
These are... Oh, wrong maps. Wonder that was confusing.
Will you build that? I'll quickly feed my cat.
And we kill the grid because we don't need it anymore.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
I mean, yeah.
Moisturize you must.
Wait, no, you're on a bloody moon. Well, I don't need to add clouds or anything.
Take pills for back pain, you will.
Kovic, it's very funny to me because I'm from a very big Sicilian family, and I have uncles that look like they'd be in the...
Nah. I did not know that cannolo was actually the singular, but I've never bought like a singular cannoli.
So, we have with us waking up from their sleep is
The Mona Lisa itself.
Sayrana, I believe, was there. Thralic, I believe, was there.
Yep.
You had other people there. One second.
We did. We have Lieutenant Junior Grade Arias.
Oh, sure. Oh, wait, do I have him over here? I do have him over here. Hold on. Haha. I don't need your help.
All right, then. I'll just leave.
Well, they need your help. I don't.
Fine. And then we had our chief engineer, although maybe they got lost in transit, I guess.
Arias and Kobuk.
Yep.
And you
Their
see
little armband got damaged.
you see the armband
Yeah.
lying on the floor.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
As you look out the front cockpit window, you can see a wide expanse of desolate, rocky terrain, but in the sky, instead of in the Shackleton, generally you would see the swirling. If the atmosphere didn't block it, like at night, nights in the Shackleton Expanse do not see black starry stars or anything. I mean, like the black firmament and stars. It's the swirling clouds and various eddies of the Shackleton Expanse because it's one massive anomaly with smaller anomalies within it. Instead, you see I think it would be safe to say a astronomical impossibility, because you see a jumble of planets. You see the gas. You see, and everything seems to be moving rather quickly. Quickly as in it is moving at all in a way that if you stare at it for like a few beats, you see things moving. It's slowly tracking across the sky. So that's you would know as spacefarers that's insanely fast for it to be doing that. Either you're moving super fast or it is, or both. You can see the small flash of a red star. You can see various other planetoids. The gas giant you should be seeing kind of seems to be distancing away, or maybe it's coming back. Like, nothing makes sense. And you see no star field. You see this sort of warped, distorted version of the stars. Like, it's almost like you can't really get anything in focus. As if the resolution of the universe is far too low for you to grasp. And you can see, as you all wake up to blaring alarms that are warning you of a navigational hazard, of several navigational hazards of high-speed moving astronomical bodies of unknown trajectory. Which is to say, a lot of stuff moving around very fast, and the computer's panicking a little bit because that doesn't make sense. Either the computer's wrong, or something very wrong is happening around you, and the computer's trying to warn you that one of two of those things are possible. And that's just blaring. It just blur, and it's repeating the warning. It goes anomaly 1, anomaly 2, so it's constantly giving this weather report. You don't see the swirl of the Shackleton clouds. You don't see the smokiness of the nebula you were within. And all of you have this fitness medicine roll coming your way. Difficulty of 1. As you all feel a sort of a unsettling feeling in your organs as you feel you feel a queasiness coming on.
Okay. Athletics focus?
Yep.
Wait, it doesn't matter. I have a 1. I love asking for focus on a 1. It's the best. Well, trait calm in the storm? This is a storm? Okay. Check for comp then. No comp, I generate 1. Wait, we transferred scenes, right?
Yes.
Cool. Then I'm not going to adjust because we lost 1 that I didn't track and we gained 1, which I will track. Who's up next?
GM.
Yep.
Can I say my talent amorphous form helps in that, like, I can, by becoming more viscousy, liquidy, I can kind of slosh around with the movements to make myself, like, less sick from it?
You certainly could, actually. That is a unique thing among the Opentar, that they're very good at adapting to planets.
Mm-hmm. So what would that do then?
I'll say it'll bring the diff down to I'll say it gives you a reroll in this case.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to spend one of our momentum.
Oops, sorry.
Here we go.
then we get it back.
Yeah, so she kind of liquidizes a little bit and kind of sloshes around in the back of the shuttle before fully rematerializing.
Okay.
And we need roll.
Who wants to grip these supports?
I can take one if it be.
Alright, you want to
Oh.
grab the good ensign Koba?
Oh wait, but the ensign. Oh well, usually.
It's usually me
Usually.
recently, but I'm
Yeah,
so.
but that's fine. I'm usually the backup. If you're. So sure, I'll play Kobuk.
Alright, you want to give a fitness medicine roll then?
Sure. Let me pull up his sheet though, real quick. Fortunately, he's at the very top of the.
Yeah.
That list. Fitness medicine.
Y'all.
Okay. I'll spend one. Why not? One momentum. That is.
Yeah.
Because I've got cautious medicine.
You could do emergency medicine for focus, maybe? Or
Would
no.
you take that, GM?
I had a comp increase, but you've already rolled.
Okay, then I won't take it.
So...
2 generated.
So that, yeah, it still generates 2 momentum.
And who would like to roll for our security chief? Captain Penn, perhaps?